"Hello," I called, stepping inside. "Ashley!" No answer. The lights were off. The air felt still, too still. Like the house was holding its breath. I dropped my keys on the counter and turned toward the hallway. The closet door was wide. Open. Her shoes were gone. So was her winter coat. I opened the bedroom door slowly. Her side of the bed was stripped bare. "What the?" I whispered. The drawers were empty. The bathroom counter, clean. No makeup, no toothbrush. Just silence. I pulled out my phone, hit call.voicemail. I called again. Nothing. One more time. Still. Nothing. I sat down on the edge of the bed, staring at the blank space where her things used to be. Then my phone buzzed. "Ashley," I answered immediately. "Where are you? I needed space. You left. It's just like that. I couldn't stay anymore. You didn't even leave a note, Ashley." I didn't know what to say. How about I'm leaving? That would have worked. I didn't want to fight, so you vanished instead. "I'm not happy, okay?" I froze. "What does that mean?" "It means I'm tired of pretending. This life, it's not what I want. So you just erased me?" "Didn't erase you. I left." "There's a difference to me?" "Yeah." I stood up, pacing the room. "Is there someone else?" Silence. "Ashley." "I didn't plan it like this. That's not a no. I can't do this right now." Just like that, the call ended. I stared at my phone, screen dimming. I called again, straight to voicemail. I tossed the phone on the bed and sat on the floor. My hands were shaking. The closet door creaked. Or maybe that was just the silence playing tricks on me. My voice cracked. Why wasn't I enough? I didn't eat dinner that night. Couldn't I just sat there, surrounded by ghosts of the life we built, or maybe the life I imagined we had? At midnight, I finally crawled into bed. Her side felt colder than mine, emptier. I turned to the wall and whispered, I didn't even get a goodbye. The next morning, I checked my phone again. Nothing. No calls. No texts. No apology. Just silence. I tried to convince myself it was a dream, that maybe she'd walk back through the door and say it was just a break, that we could fix it. But deep down, I knew she was gone. Not just physically, she had let go of me long before. I realized I was slipping through her fingers. I stood in front of the mirror and asked my reflection, what did I do wrong? The guy staring back didn't have an answer. By noon, I opened the fridge, grabbed a bottle of water, and sat on the couch. Her picture was still on the wall, smiling happy. Fake. Fake. I pulled it down and set it face down on the table. Then I stared at the door, hoping, but it didn't open. The truth sat heavy in my chest. I wasn't someone she fought for. She walked out without flinching, without guilt, like I was just a phase, a stepping stone, a temporary filler. And the worst part? She acted like I deserved it. You're still recording those voice things? Ashley asked, raising an eyebrow. It's not just voice things, I said, adjusting the mic. I've got almost 2,000 plays on the last upload. 2,000? Wow. She laughed. You know how many views a cat video gets in an hour? I'm not a cat video. Yeah, exactly, she said, sipping her coffee. Because cat videos make money. I stayed quiet. She leaned against the counter. What's the end game here? You think you'll be famous? Start a podcast empire? I don't know. I just ... like doing it. That's the problem, she muttered. You like doing it? That's not the same as it being worth anything. Looked at her. It makes me feel alive. She rolled her eyes. Then maybe you should go live outside, because it's definitely not paying rent. So now it's about money? No, she said. It's about ambition. You don't have any? My throat tightened. I have dreams. She laughed again. Dreams? Babe, this isn't dreaming. It's just avoiding reality. I stared at the mic. You've never listened to one, have you? Why would I? I live with the guy who made it. Then you should know what it is. Means to me. She crossed her arms. I know it means wasting your evenings and ignoring job applications. I looked away. I just want more, she said. More what? It's more than this? More than struggling? More than a guy who talks to a mic and thinks that's a career? I stood up. You knew who I was when you met me. Yeah, I did, she said. I thought you'd grow out of it. I clenched my jaw. So I'm just a phase? She shrugged. You're just not where I thought I'd be by now. I sat back down. Maybe I'm not enough for you. She didn't argue that night. I stared at the mic on my desk. Her words echoed in my head. You'll never make money talking into a mic. I opened my laptop, hovered over the delete button. Maybe she's right, I whispered, and I hit. It channeled gone. It's like that. I didn't sleep well. The next morning, she was humming in the kitchen. You want eggs? She asked. I shook my head. Not hungry. She looked over. You okay? Fine, you seem off. I deleted the channel. Her eyes lit up. Seriously? Yeah. She walked over, kissed my cheek. That's progress. I didn't respond. She smiled. Now you can focus on real things, right? I said. Real things? Days passed. I went through the motions. Job searches, half-hearted interviews. Smile here, nod there. But something in me was gone. I missed the way creating made me feel. I missed my voice. One night she sat beside me on the couch, scrolling through Instagram. Look, she said, showing me a couple on a yacht. That could be us if you just pushed harder. I blinked. On what? Anything that works. Sales, finance, tech justs. Something that actually builds a future. I thought you wanted a partner, not a project, she scoffed. I want someone who gets serious. I was serious. No, you were comfortable. I stood up. I gave up something I loved for you. No, she said. You gave up something childish for adulthood. I stared at her. You really believe that? Yeah, she said, because real love pushes people to be better. It's better or different? She shrugged. Sometimes they're the same. I walked out. That night I sat in the car engine. Off, hands gripping the steering wheel, I whispered, I don't even know who I am anymore. And for the first time, I didn't have an answer. Bro, are you sure you want to see this? Jared asked, holding out his phone. Show me, I said, already bracing myself. He turned the screen toward me. Instagram, Ashley, her head on some guy's shoulder. The caption read, Real love, real power, #boss energy. I stared at the image. You okay? He asked. She never posted me once, I muttered. Jared lowered the phone. You want me to unfollow her for you? No, let me see. I pulled out my own phone and opened. Her profile, same post, same stupid caption. And him designer suit, fake smile, gold chain flashing like a warning sign. His name's Marcus, Jared said. How do you know that? Used to pitch crypto schemes at my gym, total clown. She left me for a clown in a tailored suit. She left you for a guy who knows how to flex. I stared at her smile in that photo. She never smiled like that with me. She never gave you a chance to make her happy, he said. Not really. She said, I was too soft, because you cared. She called me predictable, because you didn't cheat. I laughed, bitter. Maybe I should have worn more gold chains. Jared tossed his phone on the couch. You're spiraling. Maybe I want to. You're allowed to be angry. Just don't make her. The blueprint. I'm not angry, I said, staring at the screen. I'm erased. Come on, man. She replaced me like I was a faulty part. She replaced you because she never appreciated who you were in the first place. She called my voice boring. Now she's dating a guy who shouts on reels. I didn't say anything. Jared stood. Let's get food. You need air. I need answers. You won't find them on Instagram. She looks happy. She looked happy with you too. Remember? I swallowed hard. Not like that. She's a chameleon. She smiles to match the man. Stared at the caption again. #boss energy. Shh. She told me she hated people who used hashtags, I said. Jared blinked. She said that. She mocked influencers every day. He grabbed his keys. Then that smile isn't real either. I didn't move. He sighed. You staying in? Yeah, all right. Call me if you need anything. After he left, I opened her profile. Again, another photo. Him kissing her cheek. Caption, some people just get you. I read it over and over. My chest tightened. She never posted our anniversary. Not once. She never even introduced me to her coworkers. But this guy got a highlight reel. I threw my phone across the bed and leaned back. What did I do wrong? I whispered. I picked up the mic from my desk. Unplugged. Dead. I held it in my hands. She said it was a waste of time. I turned it over. She was right. I dropped it back on the table. I looked around the room. Empty wall where our picture used to be. Empty shelf where her books were. Empty bed. Empty inbox. Empty version of me. I opened the post one more time, and there it was again. Her smile. Perfect. Polished. Proud. Like she won. It's like I was never even part of the race. You still alive in there? Jared's voice called. Through the door? I didn't answer. He knocked again. Bro, it's been 3 days. Still nothing. He finally gave up. I heard the footsteps fade. Silence returned. I stayed on the couch, blanket wrapped around me like armor. My phone buzzed again. I didn't move voicemail. Another missed call, Mom, Jared. Even my boss, I had already quit. Just texted I'm done. No goodbye. No plan. Just ... My stomach growled, but I didn't care. Food didn't taste like anything anymore. Not since she left. Useless, I whispered to myself. The walls didn't argue. I hadn't showered in days. The curtains were closed, lights off. Just the dull blue glow from the TV I wasn't watching. Every hour, scrolled through her feed. More photos, more smiles, more of him. I could still hear her voice in my head. You'll never make anything. Out of yourself. Why are you always stuck in the same place? This isn't love. This is dragging me down. I covered my ears, but it didn't help. Her voice lived in my bones now. I looked around the room. Piles of laundry. Empty bottles. Half-eaten food. A shell of the life I used to live. I stared at the wall for what felt like hours. Then I saw it. The closet door. Just barely cracked. I stood up for the first time in forever and walked over inside. On the top shelf was my old mic. Dusty, forgotten. I reached up and pulled it down. Why? I muttered. I sat at the desk and stared at it. The same mic she told me was pointless. The same one. I used before I ever met her. My fingers shook as I plugged it in. The little blue light blinked. I pulled the chair closer. Testing. I whispered. It echoed in my headphones. I sat there, silent. Then I hit record. I don't know why I'm doing this, I began, voice raw. Maybe just to hear myself talk. A pause she left, said I wasn't enough. Said I didn't try hard enough. Said I wasn't who she thought I'd become. Another pause. I believed her, stared at the mic. And that's the part that kills me. My voice cracked. I believed her, and let the words hang in the air. I quit everything. I let myself rot. I let her voice live in my head rent-free. I wiped my face. I'm tired. I took a shaky breath, but I'm still here. I hit stop. Silence again, but different this time. I sat back in the chair and closed my eyes. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. The air wasn't so heavy. I opened my eyes and I didn't feel like a ghost. Not yet a man again, but not invisible. Either. I looked at the mic. Maybe I'm not done. You're uploading again? Jared asked, staring at my screen. Yeah, I said. Started last night. He raised an eyebrow. After months of ghosting your own mic, I had something to say. He sat on the edge of my bed. You talk about losing everything? Being told I wasn't enough? Sitting in silence and hearing my own doubt echo louder than her voice, he blinked. That's heavy. It was honest. He glanced at the playback bar. No intro? No music? Nope, no editing. Just me. He nodded slowly. You okay? I paused. Not yet, but I'm getting there. I posted again the next day. No structure. No plan. Just a mic in pain. Today I woke up and didn't hate myself. That felt weird. Posted that too. The next morning, I saw a comment. Same, another. You said what I couldn't, and then your voice got me through the night. I sat back and stared at the screen. People were listening, not scrolling, not judging. Listening. I thought I was alone, I said into the mic that night. Turns out a lot of us are just good at hiding. The plays tripled. A week passed. Then 2, I didn't care about numbers, but I saw them. I didn't post for clout. I posted for breath. Each story peeled back a layer. Episode 7. When you want to call, but no, you shouldn't. Episode 11. The difference between healing and getting even. Episode 14. She'll never know what she lost, Stan. That's okay. Jared knocked one night, holding his phone. Dude, you're on Reddit. But someone posted a clip of your voice over some anime scene. It's blowing up. I blinked. Seriously? 50,000 likes and counting. Opened the post. My voice raw and shaking. Layered over a scene of a guy falling to his knees in the rain. The caption read, "He didn't scream. He broke in silence." I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You good? Jared asked. I think I'm seen. That's gotta feel wild. It does. I received an email later that night. Subject line, podcast partnership proposal. I clicked it. A producer from a platform wanted to talk. Said my tone was undeniably human. Said they were building a space for voices like mine. I stared at the screen. Ashley once told me, "You'll never make anything out of talking into a mic." Now someone wanted to pay me to keep talking. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt calm. I called Jared. Guess what? You get verified. No, I said, grinning. But someone wants to sign me, he whistled. Told you, man, your pain's universal. Just never thought it would be. ... Earned you earned that. I posted another episode that night, titled it Episode 21, she said. I was wasting time now, time's on my side. Comments flooded in. This is art. This saved me tonight. Don't stop. Stared at the mic. I won't. I whispered because this wasn't just a hobby anymore. This was healing. And I wasn't doing it for revenge. I was doing it for everyone who needed to hear what I once needed to hear myself. That we're not broken. We're just beginning again. Hey. You might not want to check Instagram right now, Jared said, sliding my phone across the table. Why? He hesitated. Ashley just posted something. I sighed. What now? More yacht pictures. This motivational caption she didn't write. He said quietly, "It's her engagement." I froze, engaged. Yeah. I picked up my phone. Her post was right there. Big diamond, bigger grin. Caption found my real one. My hands tightened around the phone. She really said that, I muttered. Jared nodded. First comment is her mom. You deserve this kind of love, I scrolled. Everyone was cheering. Heart emojis, fire emojis. Finally, you two were meant to be. I stared at the screen. That smile. It's not real. Jared leaned forward. You okay? No, I said. But I will be. He reached across the table. You don't have to see this. I do. You sure? I set the phone down, because she thinks I'll fall apart. She probably hoped you'd see it. She wants to make sure I know I lost. Jared was quiet. What do you want to do? I stood up. Post something? What kind of something? The truth. Went home and opened my mic, hit record. This isn't revenge, it's release. I paused, then kept going. She left, because I wasn't the man she pictured beside her. So I stopped being him. I became someone I actually like. I uploaded it with the title, She Left Me for a Better Life. Here's what I built without her. Then I forgot about it. I didn't expect anything. But 3 hours later, my phone buzzed nonstop. 10 comments, 20, 100, Jared called. Dude, are you seeing this? You're on Twitter, TikTok? People are stitching your voice. I refreshed the page. 50,000 views, then 100,000. By midnight. Over 2 million, I stared at the screen, stunned. Jared texted, the universe clapped back. A new email appeared. Subject, podcast deal opportunity we love. Your voice? I opened it. A full offer. Studio time. Sponsorship. Royalties. I reread it twice. Is this real? I whispered. I walked to the mirror. My reflection stared back, calm, quiet. You did this, I said softly. You turned the wreckage into something real. Another message popped up. I've never felt more seen. Thank you. Then another. Your voice saved my night. My chest tightened not from pain, from something new. Validation. Not from her. From me. My phone buzzed again. Ashley. Not a message. A. View. I clicked the analytics. She watched it twice. I laughed. She posted a ring, I whispered, and the world handed me a mic. The timing wasn't a coincidence. It was karma. Loud, beautiful, undeniable. Hey, weird question. Do you still check your DMs? That was the first line. I stared at the message. I didn't recognize the username. Profile pic was a girl I vaguely remembered from Ashley's birthday party years ago. I clicked her. Profile. Yup. Madison. One of the ones who never really spoke to me, but always smiled like she pitied me. I hovered over the reply button, then let the phone fall to my chest. Don't, I muttered to myself. But curiosity won. What's the question? I finally typed. She replied instantly. You're the voice in Sleep Tales, right? I froze. Sleep Tales. My nighttime story channel. The one that blew up after I started doing emotional calming narrations. I never used my name or face. Just my voice. Why? I typed back. She doesn't know it's you. I sat up. Who doesn't? Ashley. My heart thumped. She listens every night, she continued. She found it when her son couldn't sleep. Now he asks for your voice. It's a story, man, he calls it. I didn't respond. She has no clue it's you. I finally asked, Nope, but I do. I recognized it immediately. When she said, his voice is so calming, I had to laugh. Blinked at the screen. She really doesn't know. Not a clue. I stared at the message. Kept going. I just thought you'd want to know. She left. Sure. But she ends every night with your voice. It's funny how that works. I set the phone down. That was rich. She mocked my YouTube channel. Said no one would ever care what I had. To say she wanted a man with money, clout, flash. Now her son couldn't fall asleep without me. And she didn't even know. Jared knocked on my door. You good? Madison texted me. Wait, that Madison? I nodded. Ashley's friend. He sat across from me. What did she want? I told him. Every line. He laughed. So her son listens to you at night, apparently? Man, Jared smirked. You really are everywhere. I don't know how to feel about this. Why feel anything? You didn't ask for this. She said Ashley listens too. Oh yeah. We raised an eyebrow. Guess that ring didn't fix her insomnia. I snorted. Never make it talking into a mic. Jared leaned back. Now she tucks her kid in with your voice. I looked at the screen again. She left for a louder life, I murmured. Now my silence is what soothes her. That's poetic. It's ironic. He nodded. You gonna message back? I shook my head. No point. You sure? I grabbed my headphones. Let her keep not knowing. It's better that way. Jared grinned. Let her kid dream to your voice while she dreams of what she gave. Up. I smiled faintly. Exactly. And that night when I recorded my next story, I added a soft line at the end. Some voices never really leave us. Especially the ones we didn't value until they were gone. I didn't name names. But if she ever figured it out, I hope she'd feel it. You said. Asterisk. I looked down. Single notification. Ashley is typing. I stared at it. Then dash nothing. No message. Just silence. Then again. Ashley is typing. My heart skipped. Gone. Again. Typed. Deleted 3 times. I sat back in my chair, hand over my mouth, watching that empty screen. She's trying, I whispered. I didn't mean that in a hopeful way. Just, I knew that rhythm. and hesitation. Regret always fumbled its words. It always knocked at the door but never came in. A minute later, another notification. Different this time. A new subscriber has joined. User 8391729. No profile pic, no followers. Just a random string of numbers, but I knew. I clicked the profile. Private. Following 3 people. One of them dashed me. I pulled up the comments under my newest upload. From user 8,391,729. Your voice feels like home. I stared at it. She still won't say it out loud, I muttered. Jared passed behind me. You okay? She messaged. What? He spun around. Ashley kind of, she typed and deleted 3 times. Wow, he blinked. Think she was going to apologize? Maybe. You going to message her first? No, I said flatly. Jared raised an eyebrow. Why not? Because she already said what she needed to by not saying it. He sat on the arm of the couch. Explain. I pointed at the screen. She watches everything. I see the likes from fake accounts. One of them always hearts the old stuff, the sad ones. Could be random, could be, I agreed. It's not. She wants you to know she's there, he said. She wants to unlose, I said. Unlose. Not love. Not return. Just ... Erase the guilt. He nodded slowly. Damn. I don't hate her anymore, I added. You sure? Yeah, but I don't miss her either. I opened my inbox, still empty, still no message. She probably sat there for hours, I said. Jared smiled, was typing and deleting. That's punishment enough. He stood. So what now? I looked at the mic on my desk. I write the next one. Is that series about closure? Yeah. He pointed at the screen. Title it, The Message You Never Sent. I grinned. Too obvious. Exactly, he smirked. I hit record. I didn't say her name. I didn't mention deleted messages or fake accounts, but the words poured out if you ever wanted to say something. I spoke gently, but couldn't. This is for you. If you thought silence would protect your pride, but it only built your prison. This is for you. I paused. And if you watch someone you once broke and wonder how they got so strong without you, this is especially for you. Clicked uploaded. An hour later, the comment appeared from user 8,391,729. I didn't think you'd know, but I think you did. I smiled. I did. Hey, she said, tucking her knees up on the bench beside me. You okay? I turned away from the lake, smiled. Yeah, just thinking. About her? I paused. No, not really. She nodded. That's good. Her name was Lila. No filters, no masks. She met me at a writing event downtown. I was giving a talk. She sat in the second row, asked a question about healing in public. Later, she told me your answer wasn't perfect, but it was honest. I liked that. Tonight, the air was still. We sat under a crooked street lamp that blinked every few seconds like it was struggling to stay awake. You always this quiet after recording? She asked. Sometimes, I said, it's like I pour out all my words into the mic, and I need silence to refill. She leaned back, eyes on the stars. Get that? You do? Yeah. My art does that to me too. Makes me feel hollow in the best way. I laughed. That's poetic. It's honest. She looked at me then. Not like I was impressive. Not like I owed her anything. I just looked like I existed. And that was enough. You never ask about the channel, I said. I know, why not? She shrugged. Because you talk about what matters. And if the channel mattered more than your breath, you'd lead with it. I blinked. That's rare. What is? Someone not needing proof of worth? I don't fall for noise, she said. I fall for stillness. I stared. At her stillness? You, sitting with your thoughts, not rushing to impress, not trying to prove you're over her? I chuckled. You caught that? She smirked. I'm not blind. You think I'm over her? I think you're almost done trying to be. I exhaled. That's accurate. She bumped her shoulder against mine. It's okay to take your time. You're not scared of all my baggage? She tilted her head. Everyone's. Carrying something, at least yours has a name. Lila. She looked at me, curious. You're different. Good different? Real? She smiled. You know, you've never asked me what I do. I figured you'd tell me. When it felt right. I paint. Not for money. Just to feel again. That's beautiful. She nudged me again. So, are you happy? I thought for a second. I'm quiet. That's you're kind of happy, isn't it? It is. I like that. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I'm not here to be the next chapter, she whispered. I'm just here, present. I swallowed hard. No expectations? I asked. Just moments. Closed my eyes. I wasn't in love, not yet, but I wasn't hurting either. And that peace, that mattered more. I think I'm finally free, I whispered. She didn't move. She just smiled and said, good. I was eating cereal straight from the box when the video came in. The subject line read, thought you'd. Want to see this? No name. Just a Gmail account with numbers and letters. I clicked it. The video opened with a little boy on a couch, his tiny fingers gripping an iPad. One of my older episodes played on screen, the one where I talked about heartbreak and healing. The sound of my voice filled the room, then I heard her. Is that the story guy again? She asked gently. He nodded, without taking his eyes off the screen. Yeah, you really like him, huh? He grinned. He's the best. Silence then. Her voice again, softer, hesitant. Yeah, he really is. I paused the video. My fingers hovered above the trackpad. I didn't know what to feel. Rage, satisfaction, some kind of twisted victory. But none of it came. Just stillness. I rewound the video. Played it again. He's the best. Yeah. Really is? That second part? It wasn't casual. It was full. Weighted like someone remembering what they once had and what they threw away. I didn't recognize the room. I recognized her tone. The way she used to say my name after long talks. The softness in her voice when she wasn't pretending to be above me. Lila, I said, holding my phone out. Come listen to this. She walked over, sipping her tea. What is it? I played the clip again. She listened. Quietly, then she raised an eyebrow. That her? I nodded once, and that's her kid. Yeah, wow. I looked at her. Say it. She shrugged. Karma's real poetic sometimes. No revenge speech? Nope. Why not? Because this, she gestured to the screen, isn't about her. What do you mean, is about? Him, a little boy who found your voice healing? That matters. I exhaled slowly, I guess. She's just background noise now. She used to be the whole song. People change. Priorities shift. She mocked the mic, I said. Now her son listens to it to fall asleep. Lila. Smirked. Irony's a quiet genius. I played the video again, this time just listening. No anger bubbled up. No victory dance. Just peace. Do you ever think she regrets it? I asked. Every time she hears you speak? You think she knows it's me? Of course she does. But she hasn't reached out. She won't. Why? Because some people don't want closure. They want to haunt themselves. That hit me. I closed the laptop. She loved control, I whispered. And now, she doesn't even control the bedtime playlist. Lila laughed. No, that's karma. I looked at her. Do you think I'm being petty? No, you're being present. I smiled. She sat beside me. What are you thinking now? That maybe I'm not the villain in this story after all. You never were, she said. I nodded, and this time I believed it. Next, I called out, signing the inside cover of my latest book. People shuffled forward, a line of faces I didn't know, all holding copies with my name on the front. Wild, right? Can you make it out to Sarah? A woman asked, beaming. She's been listening to your voice every night. I grinned. Of course, tell Sarah, I said thank you. I looked up and froze. There she was, standing by the entrance, holding her son's hand. Her fiancé stood next to her in a tailored coat, tapping his phone like he wasn't even there. She wasn't smiling, just staring, eyes wide, slightly open, like seeing a ghost she buried with her own hands. I didn't blink. I didn't flinch. Instead, I smiled next. I called again, louder this time. A kid stepped forward, maybe 10 years old, the one who loved my stories. He was clutching a copy of my book to his chest. I held my hand out. "Hey, buddy," he lit up. "Hi, I listen to you every night. Your story about the rain made me cry, but in a good way." I laughed. "That one's special to me too. What's your name?" "Ethan." I opened the book. "To Ethan," I said, signing it, "who reminds me why I started speaking in the first place." I handed it to him. "You inspire me," he said softly. I felt something tighten in my chest, but not pain. Not sadness, just fullness. "Thank you," I whispered. Then I looked up again. She was still there, frozen, watching. I held her gaze. No words, just time stretching between us like a wire, pulled tight with everything we never said. Her fiancé who finally looked up from his phone. "Babe, ready?" She didn't answer, didn't even nod, just stared at the signed book in Ethan's hands, like it held a mirror she wasn't ready to look into. I turned back to my table. "Next," I said again, smiling at the next reader. As the line moved, I caught them walking away through the glass door. She didn't look back. But Ethan did. He waved. I waved back. That was all I needed that moment. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about winning. It was proof. Proof that I survived. That I mattered. That her son, her world now found light in the voice she once mocked. "Break time," Lila asked, walking up beside me with 2 coffees. "Perfect." "Timing," I said, standing. "You okay?" "More than okay." She handed me a cup. I saw her. I know. She looked haunted. She looked human. We stood near the window, watching the city breathe. Lila nudged me. "Want to talk about it?" "Nope." "You sure?" "I don't need closure," I said. "I am the closure." She smiled. "Now that's a line," I laughed. "Might use it in the next book." "You should." I sipped my coffee. It's funny. What? She wanted someone bigger, flashier, and she got him. Yeah, but he never made her son feel safe at night. I did. Lila touched my shoulder. "Let's get back. You've got more people waiting." I turned around. Heartlight, it wasn't about being seen anymore. It was about standing tall. She never clapped because the kid did, and that was enough. "You want tea or coffee?" she asked, curling up on the couch beside me. "Tea!" I said. "Chamomile if we've got it." She smiled, coming right up. I turned back to the window, sunlight melting over the skyline, streaks of orange and soft pink bleeding into the clouds. My mic was still warm from recording, the blinking light on the dashboard steady and soft. Another story uploaded, another piece of me shared. My phone buzzed again. A message popped up. I almost gave up. Then I found your voice. "Thank you." Another, "You saved me and don't even know it." I stared at the screen, overwhelmed by people I've never met, strangers connecting with my scars, my survival. She walked back in, 2 mugs in hand. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said, exhaling. "I really am." She sat beside me, tucked her legs underneath mine. Something shift. "Yeah, everything." She raised an eyebrow.
"I want to talk about it."
I looked down at my tea, watching the steam swirl. I don't hate her anymore. I hate it. Say anything? Just waited. I spent so long holding on to it. Hate was safe, clean, easier than pain, easier than sadness. Now it's just gone. Not because she apologized, not because she deserves peace. Then why? Because I do. She placed her hand over mine. "Did you really let go?" I did. I didn't even realize it at first. But tonight, while recording, I said something and didn't think of her. "What did you say?" "Pain is a place you pass through, not a place you live." She blinked slowly. "That's beautiful." Used to be a lie when I said stuff like that, I admitted. But tonight it felt true. You've come a long way. I remember thinking I'd never get out of that hole. Every night was a loop. What? She said. What I didn't say back. The way she walked away like I was disposable. You're not disposable. I know that now. Silence fell between us. But it wasn't heavy. It was peaceful. The kind that feels earned. My phone buzzed again. This time I didn't check it. She leaned her head on my shoulder. You ever think you'd feel light again? Honestly, no. But this. I gestured around the room, our books, our shared blankets, the dog curled up by the heater. This isn't noise. It's quiet and it's real. You're not afraid it'll all disappear? No, because I didn't chase this. I built it. She kissed my shoulder. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me too. We watched the sun dip behind the skyline, the last streaks of light slipping away like old memories. I still remember how much it hurt, I said quietly. But it's like watching someone else's movie now, near the main character in a better one. I laughed. Exactly. I love your stillness, she said. I love that you love it. I took another sip of tea. You know the wildest part? What? She probably still thinks I'm broken. She probably needs you to be. Yeah, but I'm not. She smiled at me soft, steady. No sparkle, no drama, just presence. It didn't feel like I needed to prove anything. Not to her. Not to anyone. I don't want revenge, I said. I don't need her to beg or cry or regret out loud. You just want peace. I have peace, and I meant it. That was the difference. It to me, I gave it to myself.